What is up, guys? Welcome to the last episode of Scythe versus this week. It is the Scythe versus the Abyssal Sire. Now, there is an obvious weapon. Let's just get it out of the way right now. There's an obvious weapon that everyone should be using at the Abyssal Sire. It is Arclight. Everybody should use Arclight. Done. If you have Arclight, use Arclight. Arclight is going to be the best weapon to kill the Abyssal Sire. It's undoubtedly, it just is. It is the best. Now, if Arclight, and we've done this through our Abyssal Sire, or excuse me, through our Scythe versus series, if Arclight is a 5, if Arclight is the baseline, and we are looking to improve on that, I don't think the Scythe does it. Let's get out of the way right now. I do not think the Scythe makes for faster kills. I will say this, the Scythe does do a few things better, and it is it's almost up for debate in my mind, and it's going to take some more testing. I'll be honest, I did not do my due diligence. I should have gotten some kills with Arclight and like tested it with Arclight. I should have gone through and, compared the two directly. But what I will say, Scythe does better than Arclight is that a lot of the time the Sire transitions phases. That's a lot of what the fight is about, is transitioning from one phase to the other. The Scythe was really good about just moving through those phases, especially the latter phases, in like one hit. The problem with that is it's not that consistent. There were a lot of times when I'd get a little stuck. If you don't hit with the D Warhammer, the Scythe can be a pain in the butt. Kills can take a little long. Granted, I still felt like I was really chugging along, getting kills really quickly, but Arclight, it's gotta be better, right? The bonuses are just too good on Arclight. I can't imagine that somehow I was getting better XP. Now, you know what you're thinking? You're probably thinking, oh, Barrows, you're probably going to talk about how the Scythe hits the Scions underneath the boss. Well, actually, I'm not, because the Scythe's hitbox, for whatever reason, when you're attacking Sire, is not swinging. And I kind of learned this. If you've ever tried to Blood Barrage or just Barrage the Sire at all, you tend to use Blood Barrage for healing. So if you Blood Barrage the Sire itself, you'll notice it almost never hits the Scions underneath. It never hits the spawns underneath the Sire itself. That's because the actual square that the Sire originates from is way in the back, supposedly. It's the back right square when you're looking at him head on. I think. Haven't actually confirmed that, but back when I did Sire a lot on stream, that's what few people tended to say. So, that being said, the Scythe actually doesn't have that problem. So as long as you're not running through Sire and dragging all the spawns and Scions through it, it's not really that much of an issue. So you can kind of cross that off as a negative point to the Scythe. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. But what I will say, the Scythe, where it struggles on Sire, obviously it's a 3x3, so it gets its hits. It does struggle from you're not using the Sire's weakness directly. You're not capitalizing on what I believe is Crush weakness. I used to use a Bludgeon at Sire just because I could. It wasn't best in slot by any means, but it was really the only piece of PPM that I could ever use my Bludgeon. So that's really what I told people all the time. I was like, you know what? I don't get to use the Bludgeon anywhere, so I'm going to use it on the Sire. Then Arclight came out and kind of changed things. Abyssal Sire is obviously a demon. Arclight does some serious work on Sire, and quite frankly, I would not be surprised if they were basically the same thing. The Scythe, again, does really well. Timing some things like the poison pools is really easy with the Scythe because you're moving every hit as opposed to every kind of one hit and then two hits, which you do with a whip or an Arclight, a weapon of that speed. So believe it or not, some of the movement and some of the timing is a lot easier with the Scythe. But that being said, I think just from a DPS standpoint, I think Arclight probably has the Scythe beat. That's just my inkling. However, again, as is true with the Scythe pretty much everywhere I've tested it, the Scythe brings a freshness. It brings this fun new element to PVM. It's just fun, man. It's just fun to use it. Can I say that I'm gonna do all my tasks at Abyssal Sire now? I've completed 2 bludgeons. I'm not exactly chomping at the bit to do more Abyssal Sire. I've got the pet. I've got 2 jars. I've seen every single drop you can possibly imagine. I'm really just not super interested in doing Sire, and I don't think the Scythe has changed that for me. So, when grading the Sire, this has probably been the toughest grade so far just because it really, it's it's hard to say like what the Scythe is really offering. Other than fun, I gotta say that there are some circumstances where I feel it's just kind of coming down to RNG. Like I said, sometimes you will hit Sire really, really low below 50% HP because the Scythe can hit so dang high. But that being said, Arclight can do that as well. So it's not like it's not like only the Scythe can do that. Arclight hits, I think, close to 50, if not high into the 50s on Sire, which means when you get Sire below that 50% threshold, he carries in a lot less HP into the third phase, which makes that phase go quicker, which basically makes the kills go a lot faster. Makes things a lot easier. You're doing less poison pool dodging. It makes a lot of things more interesting. It really just comes down to RNG, and it doesn't really matter what weapon you're using. Sometimes you'll be hitting him a lot below that threshold, and sometimes you won't at all, and you'll have to do a lot more poison pool dodging. It really just varies from kill to kill. So while the Scythe is really good at that, it is a totally RNG thing, and it's not something that you can rely on consistently to be a positive from the Scythe. So when it comes down to it, I think probably just, if you're going to make a decision, again, the Scythe does have that negative point to it wherever it goes, in that it is very expensive. With Arclight, as long as you're doing, some tasks in the catacombs, you're going to have charges. It's really not that big of a deal. But when it comes down to it, if I had to choose between Arclight and the Scythe, I gotta say, it still is a very tough call for me. And because of that, I'm going to give the Scythe a 5. I'm just going to match it with Arclight. We're going to say Arclight is a 5 at Sire. It is our baseline. It is what you want to use. It's relatively easily accessible. If you're killing Sire, you probably have an Arclight. It's what most people are going to be using. Therefore, it is our baseline in our scoring table. And I think the Scythe matches it. It has a lot of positives. And, maybe it's the 3.4 bill that I paid for the Scythe talking. But honestly, because I couldn't directly compare the two, even people who were watching me kill Sire at the time didn't really have much of a clue as to whether it was doing kills that much faster or slower. It's kind of hard to tell. It kind of matches. That being said, that's pretty impressive. That does speak volumes about the Scythe if they are on equal footing. So, should you bring your Scythe to the Abyssal Sire? My guess, probably not. You probably want to save the money. Arclight is way, way too good. And honestly, it's probably a little better. I am kind of being a little biased towards the Scythe, I think, on this one. But you know what? You guys, let me know in the comments. You've seen a couple kills happen now in video. Let me know how you think the Scythe is doing. Hopefully I've edited it down to you're seeing just the Scythe portions of the kills and you're not watching me take out vents, because that would be rather boring, wouldn't it? So either way, let me know how you think it's doing. I know you're not seeing a huge amount of kills, but let me know how you think it's doing. And if you're someone who's killed a lot of Abyssal Sire, let me know what you think about how, are these kills taking long? Are they really short? Anyway, I want to hear from you guys on this one, because really I am actually I'm a little lost on this one. I feel like I didn't really formulate my opinion fully. I'm kind of still out there searching. So maybe I'll let you know in the comments at some point after a while if I've deliberated any further. Maybe I'll finish this task up and do some Arclight kills and really see a difference. But until then, this is the last video of Scythe Versus on the channel for this week. It means I'm coming back from vacation within the next couple of days. I will see you guys on stream very, very soon. I'm sure I've had a lovely time. Thank you guys so much for watching videos during this week. If you've missed out on any of them, you can go onto my channel page. Obviously, you can find them. There's a daily episodes of Darkest Dungeon going up, as well as the Scythe Versus series, which will keep going as I keep killing more stuff with the Scythe. So if you guys like the series, let me know. It's really easy. Just put a like on that video. You guys have no idea how much those little likes mean. Just seeing people like the videos is, I know it doesn't seem like much, but it really does, it brightens my day, but it's also really motivating. It makes me want to make more content for you guys. So if you really do enjoy these videos, I will make more. All you got to do is like the video and let me know. Pretty simple. Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Can't wait to get back on stream and see you all. This is it for Scythe Versus this week, but more coming hopefully in the future. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.